Alrighty, Chef Buck here, and today we're going to cook up some Zoodles, some zucchini noodles. And a lot of times when I make Zoodles, I use just a peeler, and I shave them off and make almost egg noodles out of them. You know, that kind of consistency. But you can make kind of spaghetti-like noodles out of it too, and you don't have to have a fancy doohickey apparatus. You can just slice them thinly, and they'll actually serve as fairly nice pasta-like spaghetti noodles. We just want to cut off the end, and when you buy a zucchini, you know, you want to get one that's kind of nice and firm. You don't want to get all soft and squishy, which is kind of a Captain Obvious thing to say. Now to cut them into strings, you just want to slice them thinly into planks. And you can eat zucchini raw, you know, even just the skin, which is why they are fantastic for making zoodles, because you don't have to cook them for very long. So just cut them into some nice little planks. And they don't have to be super duper paper thin at all, because you can make them thin when you cut them lengthwise. You leave the skin on there and everything, and it only takes a few moments. And usually when we cook them up, we usually do 2 or 3. I'm just going to do 2 tonight because that's going to be plenty. And these will soften up and cook through really quickly. And we're not even going to cook them. You know, we're just going to heat them through with the other ingredients. And sometimes it can be a little difficult here at the end for that last little plank. But you just have to believe in yourself. Just have faith and an extra set of fingers and you'll be alright. And if you don't have an extra set of fingers, then just be extra super duper careful. But just cut them as thick or as thin as you like. And I like to cut them usually into like 3 little planks and then do them into slices. Because if you cut them all into planks and then stack them on each other, then they just want to slide apart too easily. And then you just look like a fool. But there you have it. That is one zucchini. Look at how many zoodles we got out of there. And they're kind of odd shapes. They're not uniform, but that's okay. Because like I said, these things, we don't have to cook them through. You know, the kind of faux pasta dish we're making, all we have to do is warm them up. Alrighty, so there's all of my zucchini chopped up. That's both of them, and that's a lot. Looks like a lot to me. I'm going to go ahead and cut them in half. So that'll make them a little more manageable. But let's go ahead and come over here, camera girl. And I'm going to heat my skillet up on medium heat. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of coconut oil in here to saute up our garlic and a little bit of onion. But I'm not going to put a lot of oil in here because we're going to add in some more oil later. You see, I got all of my ingredients already ready. And you kind of want to have this stuff already prepared beforehand because this dish is going to cook up lickety-split. Because you don't want your zucchini to cook for too long. You don't want that water to come out and make too wet a dish. Zucchini is a great ingredient. Like I said, we've been using it a whole lot lately. You know, it's very versatile. You can use it in a lot of different kinds of dishes. So the first thing I'm going to throw in here is just a little bit of onion. Not a lot, because this is just a couple of zucchini. So we're not going to have a lot of ingredients. But this is just about a 1/4 cup of chopped red onion. Just some leftover red onion I had. And we'll give this a minute head start, and then we're going to add in our garlic. I got about a 1/4 cup of garlic here. But this is kind of like going to be the main flavor engine of this dish. You know, it's going to be very garlicky and very oily. Just a super simple, quick dish to throw together. So I went ahead and I got a half a lemon, and I've already zested it. And I'll squeeze this in later at the end of the dish, but I'm going to go ahead and throw the zest of the lemon, you know, go ahead and get that going in here already. Because this dish doesn't take much time at all to cook up. I don't want to cook it up for too long. So I got to get these ingredients in here pretty quick. Alrighty, a little black pepper. And I'm going to put in just a wee little bit of salt. Put as much in as you like. I can feel Bobble Rob cringing when I put the salt in. So I'm going to take it easy with salt from Mr. Bobble Rob. So I've been cooking up this onion and garlic for probably just a little bit more than 2 minutes. Now I'm going to throw in my chopped up zucchini, my little zucchini slices. Woohoo! And basically we're just going to warm this through. It's not going to take hardly any time at all. I got a little bit of dried Italian seasoning I'm going to throw in there.
Smelling good.
So I'm only going to have my zucchini noodles in here for maybe 2 minutes. Because I don't want them to release a lot of water. I don't want to turn this into a watery dish. And I'm going to throw some tomatoes in here for a little bit of a different texture and a different color. But again, I'm just heating this stuff through. because I don't want this to be a wet dish. And then I'm going to toss in a little bit of olive oil. This is like a salad olive oil. It's a nice dark olive oil, a rich olive oil. We're just kind of putting this in here at the very end, along with the lemon juice. You know, and if you don't have a fresh lemon, you know, you don't have to put that zest in there. You don't have to put fresh lemon juice in there. You just use a little jarred lemon juice if you want, just for a little zing. But that's all there is to this dish. Now, if you want it to be super duper uber healthy, you can stop right here. But we're going to be semi-decadent and throw on some freshly shredded Parmesan cheese. It's going to add a nice flavor, and then it's going to make us feel like we're being a little bit bad too. Yeah. And I just tossed that in at the very end. Alrighty, let me see if I can divide these evenly. Put a little bit more black pepper on here, some fresh ground black pepper. Should we be bad and put a little bit more Parmesan cheese?
Oh, yes.
Just a wee little bit. Now I make a similar dish to this with a spaghetti squash. And if I was doing that, I'd put a little bit of freshly chopped parsley on here for color. But since this is zucchini noodles, some zoodles, you know, that little bit of green's already in there. So just having the tomato is color enough. That is a beautiful dish that you can cook up super quick, semi-healthy. You know, we got some Parmesan cheese on there. A little bit of olive oil for fat and flavor. But you don't have to put the cheese on there if you're scared to live. You know, just leave the cheese off. But if you want to print this recipe, go to myfoodchannel.com. You could print all our recipes there. What else? What else, camera girl? Give them the lowdown. She's a deer caught in the headlights over there. We haven't been eating much pasta. You know, between the spaghetti squash and the zucchini, you know, we've really cut down our pasta consumption. I can almost fit in my old britches. You know, so I'm getting in better shape and less fashionable all the time. Zoodles! Really appreciate you watching and doing all the stuff downstairs in the below area. You know, I meant that in the most appropriate, fashionable way possible. And that's all we got for you. Appreciate you watching, and we'll see you in the future. Bye-bye.